Hey everyone, and welcome to this webinar for Coolest Projects, where we're going to make some amazing stuff with code. Today, we're going to play around with some artificial intelligence and machine learning, and we're going to make a project that's a really, really fun game. It shouldn't take very long, really simple, but amazingly expandable. And so before we do that, let's have a chat about Coolest Projects. So welcome along to this Coolest Projects webinar. We just want to have a bit of a word to you about what Coolest Projects is before we get going. Coolest Projects is a celebration of young people and the cool things that they make with code. So people like you, anyone up to the age of 18, can share the really cool ideas that they've made with digital technology with us and the rest of the world. The event is completely open to young people everywhere, all over the globe, and it's totally online, so you don't have to worry about showing up anywhere. We have in-person events in some countries, and there are all sorts of really cool ways that we can help you get to those events. And registration for Coolest Projects is open right now. So if you've made something amazing with code that you want to share with us and the rest of the world, go ahead and do it. Enter Coolest Projects, take the things that you make and share them with us. So you and up to 5 people, so in teams of up to 5, so you and 4 friends, can make a project in one of 7 categories. There's Scratch, which we all know is my favorite coding language. There's web, games, mobile apps, hardware, which is physical computing and making things in the real world with components, advanced programming, which tend to be more complicated projects that involve multiple parts, different programs all coming together to make one more complex project. And we have AI, which is our new and exciting category for 2025, which is possibly now my new favorite category. Now that we have an AI one, I'm very, very excited about it. Projects for all of these categories are welcome at all levels. From beginner, if it's the first time you've played with machine learning and you made something that you're super proud of, we love it. If you've got something advanced that you've been tinkering on for a couple of years and you're really, really proud and you want to show us this amazing thing that you've produced, enter it into Coolest Projects, right? It doesn't matter how complete it is. If the whole thing isn't quite finished, but you know where you want to go, all those sorts of things, submit it to us anyway. We love to see them. We love to see your work, the way you're thinking, and what you're moving forward with. So you can do that by going to online.coolestprojects.org/take-part and share projects that you've already made. Something new, doesn't matter. If it's come from your brain and you've put it together with digital technology, we want to see it. The important dates for Coolest Projects in 2025. So registration opened on the 14th of January, and it will remain open until the 28th of May 2025. So you can see down here we've got some dates in March and April, May for our sort of Coolest Projects live events. The countries there in Ireland, America, Belgium, and the UK. We do have other live events in Ghana, India, South Africa, and Malaysia. Dates to be confirmed, but keep your eyes open for those guys. Very, very excited about having new Coolest Projects events in these new markets, places that we're moving into around the world, exciting new demographics with young people who can share their ideas with us. What can you enter to us? Well, basically, anything you want. Like, we don't really have lines around what you put in. Like, you can make something new, something you made specifically for Coolest Projects 2025. Or maybe there's a project that you made recently in your code club or Coder Dojo you thought was really awesome and you want to submit that as well. Or maybe something you made a few years ago and you thought, oh, I could dust that off, polish it up, finish it, and submit that for Coolest Projects. All of those are really great options. And again, we take things at all levels. Beginner, intermediate, advanced, doesn't matter. And the 7 categories are web, mobile apps, Scratch hardware, games, AI, and advanced programming. We also have last year's showcase. So every year when we run the Coolest Projects, we have the showcase at the end where we take all the projects that were made and we put them online so that you can see this amazing gallery of all of the ideas that other people managed to make real with a little bit of effort and some time and some know-how. And we have this quote here from a Code Club volunteer, Mark, who says that some people think you have to be experienced or have an amazingly unique project to take part in Coolest Projects, but it's not true. Whatever level you are at is the right level for Coolest Projects. So just put your personality into it, and you'll be inspired by all of the other projects that young people have made. So we encourage you to go have a look at the showcase if you're stuck for an idea of Coolest Projects. Have a look at what other people have done. Maybe it'll inspire you to make something your own. And then the project site. So the best place to get to all of these resources, things to help you spur your ideas or give you some instructions on getting started on projects, is the Raspberry Pi Foundation project site. And you can get to that at projects.raspberrypi.org. When we get to the coding part, I'll run you through that. And you can see here the little love heart that we've got around our new artificial intelligence collection. It shows you our AI toolkit and the machine learning pathway that we have, both of which are really great ways to start working with artificial intelligence and machine learning and really empower yourself with all of this AI stuff that's happening all over the world. So without any further ado, let's get cracking with the code. I'm going to jump across to my new screen now. So you can see here we've got the Coolest Projects website open, and I'm going to run across now. So up here to my URL, and I'm going to go to projects. There it is, .raspberrypi.org. Fantastic. So once I'm on the project site, I'm going to go to paths, and we can see down here that artificial intelligence pathway, and that's the one that I want. So there's lots of different pathways we can have. So we've got Scratch, Python, PhysComp, like which is making things in the real world. That's our hardware section, but we're going to do AI today. And in there we have machine learning with Scratch, which is a nice little pathway that allows you to work through a bunch of projects in Scratch to make some machine learning stuff. But today we're going into the AI toolkit. So the AI toolkit is our newest stuff for AI, and you can see in here there's a bunch of different projects that we've got going. But the one that we're going to do today is called Chomp the Cheese. So Chomp the Cheese, we're going to continue my project there. And what you will make, here's my friend Laura. You can see this is the project that she authored. So what we're going to make, you can see here, is a little game where these little cheesy puffs float around the screen, and Laura's going to chomp them, bump, bump, bump with her mouth. And as we chomp the food, they'll disappear. And that's our game. And so it says this little collapse here about where are my images stored. And I know some people are really worried about this sort of thing. So when you're looking at AI and machine learning, we have cameras on a lot. We're taking photos of ourselves and those sorts of things. And there are a lot of reasons to be concerned about that sort of thing. Putting your image online is definitely something you need to think about before you do it. When you're working with a machine learning model, those images go into the model, they train the model, and once the model is trained, it's very difficult to extract them, nearly impossible to pull the images back out again. So any of the images that you have on your webcam from this website or these other websites, they won't be stored on the website. None of them are sent to the website. They go into the model is trained, and then you interact with the model with the images in it. Okay, so that's just a little bit of thing, just in case you're worried about that. So the first thing we want to do is set up the project. And you see a lot of our projects have this little video at the top. So if you're at home, you can watch the short video, but we're going to do that today. I'm going to lead you through it. So if you don't have someone with you or a code club leader, or you're just interested in seeing the bit, then you can watch that short video at the beginning of every step, and it will lead you through just like I'm about to do now. So the first thing we want to do is open Scratch Lab. So I'm going to click that here. There we go. And you see Scratch Lab is now open from the project site. Okay. And the one that I want from my instructions is that I want to click on face sensing. Fantastic. Okay. So I want to go to face sensing. That's the one. All right, face sensing, try it out. Oh, okay. So it's asked me, I want to use your cameras, and I will say allow while visiting the site. Fantastic. And then bam, open. So this is Scratch Lab, and Scratch Lab is a really interesting version of Scratch released by MIT that has all sorts of cool different bits and pieces in it. There it is. And it's popped up my camera in Scratch. Fantastic. So now it can see me. Just going to move that cat. There we go. You can sit up there on that shelf. Okie doke. So this is Scratch Lab. It's a different version of Scratch to the one you may have seen before. It's got a little green bar at the top instead of the purple you might be used to. But it's very, very much the same. It just comes with a bunch of cool extensions and can do some like slightly different things to regular Scratch. So now that we've got Scratch open, let's go back to our instructions. And we can tick that off. Pop, we've got face sensing open. Oh, we click try it out too. I did 2 in 1. Fantastic. And we gave it permission for my webcam. Okay, so you might not see that. That's totally fine. Maybe your computer's already given permission, but if you do get into Scratch and it doesn't show your image, then you need to go into the settings and change that. And that's, I think, your club leader can help you with. So you should have this version of Scratch, which is exactly what we've seen, face sensing blocks, and the view from our webcam is displayed on the stage. Absolutely, that's exactly what we've got. So the next step that we want now is to move the cheese. Okay, so delete the cat sprite. Oh, that's good because he's in my way. So to delete the cat sprite, the first thing we're going to do is down here in our little palette, you can see we've got this bin at the corner of our cat. We click that, and there goes the cat. He's all gone. Fantastic. So cat's gone. Add a new sprite. You can choose an existing sprite, upload an image, or even paint your own sprite. Laura chose the Cheesy Puff sprite when she did it. Okay, so I'm going to choose a different sprite. I'm going to pick a different thing. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to food. So Laura did Cheesy Puffs, and I do like a Cheesy Puff. But, oh yeah, tacos. Fantastic. Okay, tacos winner. So I've got tacos instead of Cheesy Puffs, but that's fine because I just want to put my own little stamp on it, and I prefer tacos to Cheesy Puffs if I'm honest. Add some code to make the sprite move to random positions around the screen. Okay, so when green flag clicked, forever make the taco move around. Okay, so first things first, when green flag clicks, we always start our programs with that. All right, that's our nice little universal starter. So if you have multiple parts, having them all connect to the green flag means that once we click that, everything goes, right? Universal event, fantastic. So when green flag clicked, I want to forever glide to random position. Okay, so motion for control forever. There it is. Motion, glide to random position. Glide. That's the one. Okay, so now when I click the green flag, my taco should glide. Oh, cool, he's moving around. All right, so he's quite big though. All right, we'll have a look at that in a minute. That's fine. Okay, cool. So now my taco moves. Awesome. Click on the green flag and check your sprite moves randomly around the screen in different places. We did that. It definitely does. And now we can chomp the cheese. Okay, cool. Okay, next step. Fantastic. So now we need to chomp the cheese. So the first thing it wants me to do is bring across a Cheesy Puffs from the Cheesy Puff sprite, add a block from the face sensing blocks menu to detect when the sprite touches a mouth. Okay, so these are the special blocks that we get in Scratch Lab. These are our face sensing blocks. So we grab this one here when the sprite touches a mouth. Fantastic. And then we go back to our instructions and switch it off. And now we got add some code blocks under the face sensing block to make the Cheesy Puffs disappear when they touch a mouth. So hide, wait, show. Okay, so go to looks and we go, there they are. So we say hide and then show. And in the middle, I'm going to want a wait block. There it is. Okay. So now my taco's up there and I've got my, when it touches a mouth, hide, wait, show. Let's just check that's right. Hide, wait, show. Fantastic. Tick. Click the green flag and have fun trying to catch the Cheesy Puffs. Okay, so I'm going to try and catch this taco now, but I have a sneaking suspicion it's too big. So let's see. Yeah, it's a bit easy. It's a bit easy with a taco that big. So I'm going to go back to my costume. So I want to make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to grab the costume and I'm going to shrink it down to what I think is a good size for a taco. Let's go back to the code and we'll go to looks and we'll come down here and we'll say show. There we go. So that's another thing. If you click the blocks in the menu here, they do what they say. So like I want to hide the taco and then show the taco, hide, show. So I want to see how big the costume is, and that's quite small. So maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger than that. A bit bigger taco, a bit bigger. There we go, that's a good size taco. And now you'll see in the middle of my costume, there's like a cross here, and then there's a little reticule that's down here. So I want to align those. You'll see that, oh, the taco moves. Now if I move the taco here, okay, so the taco is not moving, but it is detecting my mouth and it's disappearing. Now if I move the costume over here, okay, it's not, right? It moves the costume on the reticule. So you can have it centered there, and then that just makes it a bit easier for you moving it around and things like that. It knows exactly where it's supposed to be. So if we go to our code now, I'm going to click the green flag because it's not moving. I haven't got both scripts running. So there we go. Yeah. Okay, cool. And it works. So chomp the taco. What's my next thing? So it definitely works. Okay, and a challenge step. Fantastic. So play a sound when the Cheesy Puffs touch the player's mouth. No problem. So if I go into my taco sprite and I say sounds and I add a new sound, I want effect. Where's chomp? Here it is. Yeah, that one. So I'm going to take chomp and then I'm going to robotize it a bit because that's funny. And then I'm going to say start sound chomp, and I'm going to put it here, right at the top. So as soon as it recognizes it, will make the chomp sound, it will hide. So start sound chomp means that it will continue with the script. If I had play sound chomp until done, it will go chomp and then the rest of the script will go. But in this case, it's going to say chomp as it hides everything. So we're going to run that script again. Right, excellent. So we got that one. That's good. So I'm going to stop that and then sound when it touches the player's mouth. Okay, add a variable to keep track of how many Cheesy Puffs the player has eaten. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so this is kind of like making a score. So I need to make a variable for that. Okay, add a variable to keep track of how many Cheesy Puffs the player has eaten. This is a good one. Okay, so let's go back to Scratch. And then in this one, we're going to have to make a variable for it. So this is kind of like adding a scorekeeper to our game. So we're going to make a variable and we're going to call it chomps. And then we see here we've got chomps, which you can add to our code, and we can set chomps to 0. So the first thing we do is every time we start a new game, we're going to set chomps to 0. So that will reset our score. And then once we have that, when we eat our thing, we want it to change hide, change chomps by 1, and then show. So we'll make our score go up by 1, and we can see that our chomps are now recorded here. And if you double click on this, it changes the way it looks. Okay, so we don't really want a slider. I'm just going to leave it like that, like the big 1 button there. Fantastic. Okay, so when I run my code now, we should see that green flag is clicked, chomps will go to 0, and then the game will start. Okay, so yeah, there you go. This game is harder than I thought. Awesome. So that gets a score. So you can see I've now got 4 chomps. So to test that it resets, let's click the green flag. Reset to 0. Fantastic. Okay. Back to the instructions. Add another sprite that the player should avoid eating. This is a good one. Okay, so let's go back to scratch. And I'm going to do this. It's not cheating. It's a smart way to do it, right? So I know that I want a new sprite that does basically the same thing, but it changes the chomps in a different direction and it plays a different sound. So it should take one of my score away, and it should also make a different noise. Those are the only things I really need to change. So I'm going to duplicate my taco. So now I have taco and taco 2. And then I'm going to change the costumes on it. So I'm going to get rid of the costumes that it currently has. I'm just going to stop my program from running. And then I'm going to add a new one. Let's go for food. Something. What else? What don't I want to eat? Let's see. Hang on. I don't want to eat this duck. Okay, well, duck's massive. Okay, he needs to be made a bit smaller. So let's zoom out here. There we go. Grab all of his costume, shrink him down. There we go, and pop him on there. Cool. Let me go back to my code. So now this is my duck, and I want my duck to do all the same things. So when the green flag is clicked, set chomps to 0, and then glide 1 second to a random position. That's the same. I want him to move. When this sprite touches my mouth, he should start to sound chomp. So I want to change that, and we need to change chomps by -1. So he'll take 1 away from my score if I eat the duck. The last thing to change is the sound. So instead of chomp or pop, I want a different sound. What should be a bad sound? Yeah, bonk. Okay, cool. So if I eat this duck, it will go bonk. Let me change start sound, bonk. So now let's test. I'm going to move the taco, and we're going to disconnect that so the taco doesn't start moving. And now, fantastic, -1, -2. And now when we reset it, back to 0. Awesome. So let's reconnect that, and now I've got my whole game going. It's much harder with the duck. So that's our game. That's the project that we're making today, everybody. So we've got this little Chomp the Cheese game. And you can add more things. There's a bunch of other stuff you could do to that. I could add a timer to see how many I could get in 30 seconds. I could make the taco move faster. Making the taco move faster is really easy. I just go 0.5 seconds instead of 1 second and watch how much the faster the taco moves. Okay. We can make the duck move slower, the duck move faster. You can make the duck bigger and smaller. There's lots of ways you can take this project, customize it, make it different, add difficulty levels, all sorts of things like that. So I hope you had a good time with our coding today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed playing with this little AI extension in Scratch. And I'd just like to remind you that anything that you make is eligible for Coolest Projects, whether it's a game with tacos and ducks, or it's a complicated project that involves things like experiments in space. All of these things are just as valid as each other. So please, anything that you've made, submit it to us at Coolest Projects. We would really, really love to have it. Thanks very much, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye.